Forget 20-man rosters. Tonight we're boiling it down to a top 10. I'm drafting just 10 absolute monsters, each slotted into a perfect role, to forge the single strongest pirate crew the Grand Line has ever feared. From a reality-bending captain to the sniper who can tag a fly at dawn, every pick will jump the power scale another notch. Think of it as a countdown: 10 cabins, 10 legends, one ship nobody in the world government wants to spot on the horizon. Ready to see who makes the cut? Let's hoist the sails and start the list. 1. Captain Gol D. Roger, the Pirate King. If you're building a crew that's supposed to terrify admirals in their sleep, you start at the very top of the food chain. Gol D. Roger didn't just conquer the Grand Line. He rewrote its rules, sailing further, faster, and louder than anyone before or since. His Rensum reads like a myth first to reach Laugh Tale. Owner of the world's most infamous treasure. Wielder of Conqueror's Haki so intense it cracked Odin's knees and made Whitebeard grin like a kid again. But the real reason Roger anchors this list isn't just raw power, it's synergy. The man turned sworn enemies into blood brothers, convinced Kazuki Odin to ditch Wano, and inspired rivals to chase an era-defining dream instead of his head. Under Roger, every monstrous talent that follows will pull in the same direction, driven by a captain whose laugh is louder than cannon fire, and whose will can still tilt the sea decades after his death. Put simply, you want the greatest pirate crew ever. You crown the Pirate King as captain, or you admit second place before you set sail. 2. First mating Rox D. Sebek. The Dark Star? Every Pirate King needs a devil on his shoulder, and no shadow looms larger than Rox D. Sebek, the man who once commanded Kaido, Big Mom, and Whitebeard like pawns in a cosmic chess match. Imagine that volcanic ambition harnessed, not for world destruction, but in service of Gol D. Roger's unstoppable voyage. The thought alone could make the Five Elders break out in hives. Rox brings more than brute force. His Conqueror's Haki once overlapped with 3 future emperors and still dominated the battlefield. His strategic cruelty turned God Valley into a legend whispered in marine nurseries. Pair that ruthless intellect with Roger's laugh till you win optimism, and you get a 2-headed command that balances vision with raw, merciless execution. Sparring sessions would rattle the ship's keel, but when the Jolly Roger rises on the horizon, even Kaido's thunder would seem like distant weather. Roger gives the crew purpose. Rox gives the world a reason to kneel. Together, captain and first mate form a command bridge so terrifying the term Yonko suddenly feels quaint. 3. Navigator Silver's Rayleigh, the Dark King. When your captain and first mate are titans who split islands for warm-ups, you need a helmsman who can read the sea like a heartbeat and steer straight through chaos. Enter Silver's Rayleigh, the man who literally navigated Gol D. Roger's ship to Laugh Tale and back while every marine on Earth was hunting his wake. Though famed as Roger's right hand, Rayleigh's most underrated talent has always been his instinctive feel for the Grand Line's madness: knock-up streams, magnetic anomalies, sea king nests. He sailed through them all with a grin to add in future sight observation Haki, a swordsman's reflexes, and the calm to face an admiral in flip-flops, and you have the ultimate living compass. With Rayleigh at the wheel, our Frankenstein super crew can charge into storm belts and marine blockades alike, confident the ship will thread the needle every single time. He doesn't just plot the safest route, he plots the most legendary one, turning impossible detours into stories that rattle taverns for decades. A Pirate King, a Dark Star, and now the Dark King at the helm. Our command tribe can just cross the Grand Line, they can rewrite it. With Rayleigh charting the route, Roger driving the dream, and Rox enforcing it, every log pose in existence just became a dusty souvenir. 4. Dr. Marco, the Phoenix. When the fiercest battles leave even legends blood-soaked, you want a medic who can shrug off cannon holes and still carry 3 crewmates at once. Marco's mythical zone flames knit tissue in real time, his own and anyone he touches, making him a flying trauma center who never runs out of supplies. Need mid-air triage while Rayleigh threads a maelstrom. Marco swoops in, blue fire glowing, fractures realigning before the ship's deck even rocks. Strategically, the former 1st Division commander brings more than healing aerial reconnaissance. Blitz logistics, he can haul Vegapunk's spare engines like shopping bags, and battlefield crowd control via Talon kicks that folded the Queen King tag team. His laid-back warmth also balances Rock's ruthless edge, keeping morale high enough that even Whitebeard's Quake Punch hangovers feel manageable. With Marco on duty, this crew's casualty list stays at 0, and the Phoenix emblem on the infirmary door serves as a warning to enemy sings, whatever damage you dish out, these pirates will rise from the ashes before the next volley lands. 5. Aerial Fleet Commander Shiki, the Golden Lion. Every legendary crew needs air superiority, and nobody dominates the sky like Shiki. Thanks to the Fuafua no Mi, the Golden Lion can levitate anything he touches. Boulder ships, even whole islands, then hurl them like artillery or weld them together into a drifting fortress. Imagine Roger's flagship escorted by a squadron of airborne galleons, each one bristling with Vegapunk railguns and steered by Shiki's telekinetic grip. Tactically, the former, Flying Pirate, brings fleet-level strategy that once forced Sengoku and Garp to team up just to contain him. He can sabotage marine blockades by lifting their stone jetties straight into the stratosphere, drop a mountain on an admiral's head, or raise an emergency dry dock for Marco to treat casualties mid-battle. His wild card ego balances against Rock's ruthlessness, while Roger's charisma keeps the line's pride focused on conquest rather than mutiny. With Shiki commanding the skies, sea kings and admirals alike will be looking up in terror, because when your deck starts drifting heavenward, it's already too late to pray. 6. Cook Lucky Rooks, the Scarlet Gourmet. When your captain is the Pirate King and the deck bristles with monsters who burn calories by the megaton, you need a chef who can keep the pantry stocked and the morale hotter than Sanji's blue flames. Enter Lucky Rocks, Shank's right-hand gourmand, The man who turned a humble banquet into the Red Hair Pirates first bludged and did it faster than most gunslingers can blink. Rox's Ruz Sum starts with speed. He was the first character in the series to land a kill shot, drawing and firing while munching on a meat bone. Observation Haki and sprinter agility hide beneath that jovial bulk, letting him slip through battlefield chaos with trays of steaks and a loaded flintlock, because nothing pairs with roasted Sea King like covering fire. In the galley, he's a miracle worker, marinating Sea King ribs for Rox, fermenting steak strong enough for Whitebeard, and whipping up dense sweets that keep Roger's Conqueror's Haki blazing through week-long sieges. Rumor says his secret spice blend contains a pinch of Dynastone dust, just enough heat to make even Kaido sweat. Strategically, Rux doubles as quartermaster. He can eyeball a cargo hold and know exactly how many days of rations, rum, and medical herbs Marco will need after the next island-shattering brawl. His booming laugh matches Roger's, smoothing tensions when Rox starts plotting mutiny and reminding everyone that a crew that feasts together never falls apart. With Lucky Rox manning the stoves, this top 10 crew won't just conquer the Grand Line. They'll throw the lewdest victory barbecues the New World has ever smelled, leaving admirals to wonder which is scarier, their cannons or their cholesterol. 7 Storm Artillery and Surveillancing Enel, God of Lightning, a ship powered by Vegapunk tech needs an infinite battery, and no dynamo is louder or deadlier than Enel. His Goro Goro no Mi turns him into living lightning instant teleport across metal decks, gigawatt railgun blast that dwarf Pacifista lasers, and a built-in defibrillator for anyone Marco drags back from the brink. But Enel's real value is global radar. With mantra-level observation Haki, he can map every heartbeat within a 30-mile radius, eavesdrop on marine transponders, and pinpoint ambushes long before Rayleigh sights the storm clouds. Shiki lifts the fleet into the sky. Enel becomes the Thunderhead escort, ionizing enemy masts, frying Seastone cannon circuits, and recharging Lucky Rox's galley lights all at once. Strategically, he's the Night Watch, the Power Grid, and the orbital strike button rolled into one smug deity. Paired with Vegapunk's rail cannon arrays, each bolt he fires is a city-level EMP, meaning any navy that tries to jam this crew's signal ends up sailing home by candlelight if their compasses still spin at all. 8. Siege Vanguard in Living Fortress Kaido, the strongest creature. When it's time to smash through a marine fortress, or use the fortress as a club, you wheel out Kaido. His mythical dragon form turns the horizon into a fire-breathing dreadnought airborne mobility that syncs with Shiki's levitating armada, plus blast breath artillery that rivals a Buster Call in one roar. On deck, he's the indestructible frontline advanced Conqueror's Haki coatings, Thunder Bagua counters that one-shot future Yonko, and raw endurance so absurd he uses skydiving from 30,000 feet as stress relief. Strategically, Kaido functions as the crew's siege engine and morale shockwave. He lands first, soaks every admiral's opening volley, and replies by dropping magma hot dragon scales on their supply depot. Vegapunk's rail guns mount along his spine for impromptu Kaido-class bombardment runs, while Enel supercharges his blast breath with lightning for overclocked plasma strikes. Even Rox, no stranger to brutality, has to admit the Beast Pirate is the perfect living battering ram. With Kaido at the prow, our super crew doesn't just approach enemy strongholds, they arrive riding an apocalypse, leaving the world government scrambling to decide which evacuation protocol call comes after total lost cause. 9. Tectonic Rear Guard Edward Negate, Whitebeard, no blueprint for the strongest crew ever, is complete without the man who once shook Marineford's Bay with a single punch. Whitebeard isn't just muscle, he's a strategic anchor who turns retreat routes into front lines and coastlines into fault lines. The Gura Gura no Mi grants him earthquake shockwaves that split seas, topple citadels, and flatten Kaido-sized opponents before they can roar twice. Stationed at the stern, he guards supply ships and wounded comrades while his Quake Orbs deterrent blast any pursuers, meaning this crew never has to look over its shoulder. Synergy. Vegapunk's Seastone plating transfers Newgate's tremors along the hull for wide angle, seismic broadside. Attacks, Shiki can levitate chunks of shattered earth to hurl as meteors. Marco's blue flames patch the old man mid-battle so the next tremor hits just as hard. Even Rox respects him, because Whitebeard fights for family, not ego, and that stabilizing loyalty is the glue keeping demigods on the same deck. In short, you can field dragons, lightning gods, and pirate kings all day, but without Whitebeard's continent cracking authority at your back, the lineup would still feel incomplete. Call him the quake that keeps the world honest, and the reason admirals double knot their boots before chasing this jolly Roger. A 10. Musician in Soul Vanguard Brook, the Soul King, a crew stuffed with gods, dragons, and Quakemaker still needs a heartbeat, and Brook provides it in 44 time. Revived by the Yomi Yomi no Mi, the lanky skeleton drifts between life and death, able to slip his soul through iron bulkheads to scout enemy strongholds hours before the first cannon fires. When he returns, violin already tucked beneath his chin, a single riff of Bink's sake melts tension faster than Sanji can sear a steak. Rock stops snarling. Kaido keeps his sake jug on the table, and even Whitebeard's bass drum laughter finds the downbeat. On the battlefield, Brook's music turns lethal. The chill of the underworld clings to Soul Solid, his cane saber, flash freezing planks and boots alike so Kaido's blast breath or Whitebeard's Quake Orbs land unopposed. Need a diversion. One surprise concert in a port town pulls half the marine garrison to the front row while Roger's flag slips past the harbor lights. And when the smoke clears, his encore sends allies into victory shouts that echo across the Grand Line, stitching morale tighter than any surgeon's suture. With Brooks strumming at the prow, the world's strongest crew doesn't just conquer seas. They headline them, leaving every island in their wake humming the anthem of a new pirate era. From the helm of Gold D. Roger and the ruthless cunning of Rocks to Shaky's levitating armada, Kaido's apocalyptic brawn, and Whitebeard's continent-cracking quakes, this hand-picked crew fuses every terror the Grand Line has ever birthed. Rayleigh threads impossible routes, Jimby commands the currents, Enel powers the sky with thunder, Lucky Rocks keeps the monsters fed, Marco patches the impossible, and Brooks' chill riffs bind it all together in a roar of laughter and song. 10 legends, 1 flag, and a ship that sails on earthquakes, lightning, and pure will. If this Jolly Roger appears on your horizon, the only sensible plan is surrender. Enjoyed assembling the ultimate pirate dream team. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss the next voyage!